Everyone tells you to stay positive. Think positive. Speak positive. It sounds powerful. It sounds motivating. But what if I told you, positive thinking can become poisonous? Not hope, not optimism, not resilience, but forced positivity. Toxic positivity, the kind that silences pain. The kind that denies reality. The kind that tells a drowning person to just think positive. Positivity becomes poison the moment it refuses to see truth. When someone loses their job and you say, just stay positive. When someone is grieving and you say, at least it happened for a reason. That is not healing. That is emotional suppression. Pain ignored does not disappear. It goes underground, and buried pain does not die. It grows. It turns into anxiety. It turns into resentment. But I will face it. Denial says, this is not hard. I refuse to feel it. You pretend you're strong when you're breaking, and the world applauds you. Such a positive person. But inside, you feel invisible. Toxic positivity teaches people that negative emotions are weakness, sadness, weak, anger, weak, fear, weak, doubt, weak. So you learn to hide them. You smile when you want to cry. You laugh when you feel empty. You say I'm fine until you forget what fine means. But emotions are signals. Pain is information. Anger is a boundary alert. Fear is a survival instinct. Sadness is a processing phase. When you silence these emotions in the name of positivity, you lose your inner compass. Growth requires discomfort. Healing requires confrontation. Change requires honesty. You cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot heal what you refuse to feel. You ignore the lesson. You repeat the mistake. You call it optimism. But it's avoidance. Real positivity is not blind. And affirmations without action are illusions. Social media made it worse. Quotes everywhere. Good vibes only. Positive energy. Cut off negativity. If you cut off everything uncomfortable, you cut off reality itself. There is something dangerous about always forcing positivity. You start blaming yourself for normal human emotions. If you feel sad, you think you're failing. If you feel anxious, you think you're ungrateful. If you feel angry, you think you're toxic. So instead of processing emotions, you fight them. And fighting your own emotions creates inner war. Suppressed emotions don't disappear. They wait. They build. They gather strength. Until one day your body speaks for you. Burnout, panic attacks, chronic stress, emotional numbness. And you don't understand why. You were so positive. Another danger of toxic positivity is how it invalidates others. When someone opens up and you immediately respond with, just look at the bright side. You shut the door. You send a message. Your pain makes me uncomfortable. So please, hide it. Healing begins with validation. I see your pain. That must be hard. You have the right to feel this. That is strength. That is compassion. That is real positivity. Optimism is powerful, but it must be grounded. Grounded in truth. Grounded in reality. Grounded in action. True positivity says, yes, this hurts. Yes, this is unfair. Yes, I am struggling. And I will still try. That is courage. You are not weak for feeling negative emotions. You are human. Strength is not constant happiness. Strength is emotional honesty. If you never allow yourself to feel sadness, you never process loss. If you never allow yourself to feel fear, you never prepare wisely. Negative emotions are teachers. Toxic positivity fires the teachers. Balance is everything. You can acknowledge pain without drowning in it. You can accept struggle without surrendering to it. You can cry and still be strong. When positive thinking becomes poisonous, it becomes a mask. The healthiest mindset is not constant positivity. It is emotional flexibility. The ability to feel fully, process, deep, then choose wisely. Let yourself be real, not perfect, not always glowing, not always smiling. Real, because authenticity heals. Pretending suffocates. Stop telling yourself that pain means failure. Stop telling others to just move on. Stop silencing emotions in the name of good vibes. Instead, practice this. Feel honestly. Think realistically. Act courageously. That is healthy positivity. You don't have to be positive all the time. You have to be honest. You don't have to avoid darkness. You have to understand it. Because light only has meaning when darkness is acknowledged. True strength is not forced happiness. It is emotional maturity. And emotional maturity says, I will not deny my pain. I will not drown in it. I will learn from it. Choose wisely, because your mind believes what you repeat, and if you repeat lies in the name of positivity,